Welcome Aries to your August 2016 reading. I'm going to be doing a general reading for any specific messages for you, and just a short love reading for those of you who are interested. So what messages are there for Aries for the month of August? And how can they best utilise the energies in August for their highest good and for the highest good of all? There's been some changes made, and I think that you were quite happy with the changes. Whatever you chose to do, or whatever circumstance had led up to August, I think you're feeling quite satisfied with yourself and how things have progressed, and you're kind of congratulating yourself almost. Whoops, my dog just moved the camera. So there has been some changes. I do feel that, and I feel like the changes were quite momentous. If you haven't experienced any changes yet, I think that you will feel something coming into August, like maybe the first week or so of August. There might be some changes that come about. Certainly what you're noticing as you come into August is that things have kind of become a bit topsy-turvy. There's a sense of having gone through some sort of difficulty, and you've had to realign yourself to a new paradigm. But ultimately it's for the best. Whatever it was for the best. So the Tower card here, it is indicating some changes, maybe something you weren't expecting. It feels like the changes have already happened. The revelations have already occurred. There's been an about face in some way that you've had to adjust to. And I feel like that's already happened. For those of you who haven't had that experience yet, it may be coming up in the very early stages of August. So something that maybe you weren't expecting, or something that you were expecting. I feel like on some level you were expecting it, or you instigated it, because the rest of the reading isn't so difficult. It's just showing that there has been some changes you've had to adjust to, you've had to rework, rejig. What I'm feeling here is also a sense of being real, acknowledging something to yourself or about a situation. Maybe you were in the dark about something, and then out of the blue it suddenly hits you, well, this is what that issue is, or this is where this has come from. It's a revelation. It's something that kind of brings something to light for you. The feeling here is a sense of needing to be grounded, bring you back down to earth regarding a situation. Maybe you had your head in the clouds too much, or maybe you had built a wall between yourself and other people, or a situation you didn't want to see it clearly, or you had unreal expectations of it. And the Tower came about to bring you back down to earth, to ground you, to bring a more solid foundation, because as you can see, the people are falling back to earth. So it's a sense of groundedness that had to occur in order to bring you to the next phase. So that's the energy you're bringing in. The next two cards are indicating what you're in the dark about and why you're in the dark about it. The Queen of Pentacles in this position, I feel, is not understanding what I'm picking up. Not understanding if this is a female energy. It can always signify a female or a male, but it's more the energy. So it's more of a yin energy, which is receptive, nurturing, and with the Queen of Pentacles, it's grounded in reality. So maybe you weren't grounded in reality about a situation. Maybe you weren't really grounded. You had unreal expectations. Again, that leads in with the Tower card. And so it's actually happened to bring you back down to earth, to bring a sense of a strong foundation for you, because you didn't have that. You didn't know what you were searching for. And the Tower always comes about when you're kind of floundering, you're going in the wrong direction, and the universe, wants to say, hang on a second, you are going in the wrong direction. Let's put a stop to this because you can't go any further. So it's brought you back down to earth because that's something that you were missing. You were missing a sense of groundedness and a strong foundation. It could be financial, because Pentacles, they relate to financial issues, as well as property, as well as security. It's relating to a lack of security in something. Maybe you didn't have a sense of security or stability with a situation, and all this came about to bring you back down to earth. And why you were in that position is because you weren't trusting your intuition. You really weren't. And the High Priestess is a very strong energy. It's not just intuition, it's a higher knowing. It's like you had the knowledge, it was being given to you, but you chose not to listen to it. Hence the Tower card. So I feel here, whatever came about was because you really weren't paying attention to the messages that were coming to you. And the messages can come in so many different forms. It might be a repeat of circumstances. It might be that you hear something several times, in a day, or in the span of 2 or 3 days. And you think, oh, that's odd, but it's actually not. It's messages coming to you all the time. And it's almost like you weren't listening, and you were getting very strong, very clear messages, because that's what I feel with the High Priestess. You just weren't listening to very, very strong messages, and you weren't listening at all to your intuition and to your gut feeling, which was telling you that it wasn't in the right direction, that you weren't going in the right direction. So the foundation here is that changes have happened because you weren't going in the right direction. You needed more stability and security and a stronger foundation, which you actually didn't have because the Tower fell. And and what else is there? I want to kind of highlight this card as well, a 3 of Cups. For some of you, it may have been that you were looking for a good time. That's what I'm hearing. That you were more focused on not frivolous, but the senses of having a good time, of creating happiness and partying and having fun and all of that kind of stuff. And it's short-lived. It feels like, this kind of energy for me feels like it was short-lived, and it was going nowhere, and you were focusing too much on it. Let me just see if this wants to go. No, it's upright. Or maybe you had a number of relationships. So if we want to relate that back to a relationship situation, you had a number of relationships and you weren't looking at any kind of stability or commitment with any of them, and all of a sudden, things happen and you're brought back down to earth. That's the higher message here. So needing a sense of stability, and you weren't focused on that, you weren't grounded. There was just too much energy in the senses and having fun in very basic interactions with people. There was no strength or stability with them. So I also want to highlight here, if we're talking about career or anything like that, maybe you weren't taking something seriously. That's the other feeling I get with this card, a sense of not taking something seriously enough, having too many irons in the fire, not really applying yourself or being committed to one course of action. With a job, maybe you were looking towards other jobs instead of focusing on the one that you had and making it work or setting a foundation. So in a business sense or in career, a lack of focus, I feel like, just flitting away your energies in too many areas and not really committed or responsible. So the advice here is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands feels like, I hear starting again. That's one message that might be coming out. So a feeling of starting again with something, or taking action, redoing something with more focus and clarity. And I feel like with the Ace of Swords, that feels quite strongly. So it's kind of like back to the drawing board with something. Okay, let's do it right this time. Or again, career-wise, you might have started a new job and you're starting at the beginning. And with that, there's a sense of, with the Ace of Swords, there's a sense of determination and clarity. And there will be some obstacles that need to be overcome. And that's what's going to become apparent to you for the month of August. So for August, you will be surmounting some obstacles with clarity and focus and intention. I feel like you need to have a sense of childlike wonder and exploration and learning, because to me pages are also about learning something, learning from the beginning. It's kind of like you're at the start of something in terms of your development. Here it's, doing action, taking action. So yeah, that's that feeling here, and that you're going to have to surmount some obstacles, and it's kind of like at the beginning of something. That will lead to more stability, because your ultimate card here is the King of Pentacles, and that's where you're leading to. It's interesting here, the Queen of Pentacles is a sense of receptivity, and here the King of Pentacles is the Yang energy, which is taking charge and leading. So receptiveness, you weren't receptive to having to being focused and being stable, and I guess putting into action the energy to create stability in your life. But ultimately you are leading towards that, or there will be someone who is in a position of authority, who is very, very strong, very determined, financially responsible and stable in business, that will support you as you learn and grow. But you're heading towards that way anyway. I feel like there's a merging here. The other energies coming through with this higher triad is a needing to communicate something, and a needing to communicate from a place of sincerity and honesty and heartfelt. Communicate with passion something, put passion and energy into your communication with something. That's the advice. Communicating something, learning something, expressing yourself with passion and wonder and a sense of childlike learning, open-mindedness. Around the page, it's barren, and that's the fire energy. You know, it's hot, it's creative, it's but it's also barren, and it's like you need to nourish, you need to put the energy in to nourish this barrenness that's around you. So you're kind of like at the beginning of something, you're sowing the seeds, so to speak. And again, if this is a relationship, then communication, being honest and sincere when you communicate with someone, coming from a heartfelt place. And you will need to overcome some obstacles. If it is a relationship, you will need to overcome some obstacles in terms of how you guys move forward, guys or girls, move forward. Again, I'm being drawn to sense of barrenness in this card as well. You know, below the sword is, I mean, here it's red, here and here in this Ace of Swords it's blue and brown. So again, it's barren, but there is water, nourishment. The soil is ready. I also got the message that you need to take up the sword. So take action. You will be taking action. You will be putting the energy in to move something forward. It's like you're at the beginning of something. You need to put lots of energy into it to start to cultivate whatever it is you're working on, whether it's business, career, changing jobs, study, or a relationship. You're kind of starting again to some degree, not fully, but there is a sense of starting over with something and building it up with a strong foundation. And for those of you who are single, Aries, there is a King of Pentacles that's coming in, someone who is very grounded and someone who is financially stable or working towards that gives you a sense of groundedness. For males, there is a female energy. In fact, these two are interchangeable for me. They're almost on top of each other. So whether you have that there and this one here, depends on your gender orientation. But to me, they kind of feel the same on one level. You're working towards stability within your own career or within a relationship, and whichever way you're going, you will have that sense of stability with this person or with a situation where you are incorporating this energy within yourself. So if it is a relationship, there is a very strong earth energy coming to you, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. Very, very strong earth energy. In fact, the earth energy feels very much either like a Capricorn or a Taurus to me, because they're very, very strong earth energies. So that's where it's leading to. Doesn't feel like everything is completely sorted. It's like you are sorting through something. You might have a sense of clarity and direction, but you feel like it doesn't feel as solid yet. It's like you're at the beginning working towards setting a sense of stability and solidity in your life in some way. And it's a nice energy, so it doesn't feel like there's a lot of tension or upset or anything like that. I think that's already gone. The clarity is there. With that clarity, with that newfound clarity, you're going to draw upon that and start to focus and put that into action to bring about more stability in your life, financial as well as relationship stability and career-wise. There's also a sense of feeling like there's someone that has more to offer you than what you were aware of, and maybe that's what you will become clear about. I will draw a card from my Midnight Sun deck. just a clarifying card, the outcome of the general outcome for August for Arians. Any additional message? Oops, 2. So we have the Ace of Wands here and the Queen of Cups. And it's interesting that they kind of correlate with the energies we've got here. The Ace of Wands is beginning something new, energetically putting energy into something new, a birth of something from passion and from motivation and inspiration. Something's coming out like a phoenix almost, is what I'm being told. It's like a phoenix rising from the ashes. And to be receptive to changes. There might be a female energy or a more yin or a more receptive energy around you at this time, supporting you. Also birthing something. That's another interpretation. There's a sense of birthing something, pregnant with inspiration, with ideas, with passion. Sorry guys, my video abruptly ended. That was the end of the reading anyway, but thanks all for watching, and I'll be posting the love readings for August in a couple of weeks' time. Hope to see you all again soon. Bye.